Hi guys, my name is Sabrina, and about 2 weeks ago I made this comment and I ended up having a lot of people asking me how to reverse a generational curse that's put on your family. So today I will go into the specifics of how I did it personally, and to be honest, I found the spell that I used just off of Pinterest. I can't find the exact picture that I saved, but I'll be showing you guys step by step on how I did it and also what kind of materials to use for the spell. So first things first, this is very important. You want to start wearing all your protective crystals like black tourmaline and black obsidian. And also if you haven't started veiling yet, make sure you veil. You either wear like a black wedding veil or you wear a hoodie like this and then anoint your third eye with lavender oil. If you don't have lavender oil, any kind of protective oil or rosemary oil both works. Either way, the point is you just want to protect yourself really well before you start reversing this curse. And also just a side note, what has worked for me might not work for you. It's better that you consult another psychic if you're not sure what to do for yourself, or you do a tarot reading yourself on if this method is the right method for you, because this is something that is very serious and you need to proceed with caution. And the second thing you want to do is you want to take a black candle like this. This one's sealed right now, but you want to unseal it and use any pen or pencil to carve words on your black candle saying you are protected throughout this entire spell, nothing bad can get to you, whatever it is that you want to say to protect yourself. And also you want to dress this black candle with lavender oil or rosemary oil or any kind of protective oil. And the next thing you're going to want to do is to put on a karma removal or curse removal 777 hertz video from YouTube. Or if you know how to make subliminals yourself, you want to make one for yourself to help you amplify it in your subconscious that you're going to reverse this spell and send it back to the sender no matter what. And you also want to put protective wording in your subliminal to protect yourself too. So the most important thing I want to emphasize is that you've got to protect yourself extremely well, because think about this. Whichever witch that has placed this curse upon your family, they gotta be extremely powerful for the curse to work this effectively. So yeah, because this is a curse removal and return to the sender spell, you gotta protect yourself really well. And the next thing after you put on the curse removal hertz video or subliminal video is you want to either meditate or pray really hard to your ancestors or whatever deity that you're working with or believe in to help you out and protect you during this spell. I don't recommend skipping the meditation at all because that will help you strengthen your will and your focus. And then the next thing you want to do here is to take a bottle of black pepper and or sea salt and make a spell circle on your table. So like this. This is kind of messy and it's not exactly a circle, but you guys get the point. And of course, you want to make a circle that is way bigger than whatever it is that I have here, because you're going to take a big piece of red cloth or red shirt and put it in the middle. And my guess for the original creator of the spell to use red cloth is because red represents the planet Mars, and Mars has a lot to do with cutting things. And it is also the planet of war, forward movement, and destruction, and that is exactly what you want to do to the sender. And now we're going to lay out this piece of red cloth on the circle. Just pretend that it fits, okay? And now, the next thing we're going to do is to take a piece of paper. I'm using a post-it paper, but when I did the spell myself, I used a yellow paper. I remember very clearly on the original post, it says to use yellow paper, but I think white also works. And what you want to do is to take this piece of paper and lie down on the yellow cloth, and you're going to draw a human gingerbread shaped cookie on the paper. And it looks something like this. I don't know if you guys can see clearly, but it's like a cookie shaped human. And then you're going to cut this out. So ideally, you want to have a piece of paper that's twice the size of this, but for the sake of this video, this will do. And then on the piece of paper, you want to write down anything along the lines of the curse is removed from my family forever and fully returned to the sender. I like to write the wording down 3 times, but you can also just write it down once, and I recommend doing this with a black pen. And the next thing you want to do is you want to sprinkle some kind of paprika or chili powder onto the mini cutout person that you just wrote on. And after that's done, you want to fold this person away from you 3 times. So 1, 2, and then counterclockwise, 3 counterclockwise, and then you stop here. And the next step of what you want to do is you want to cut out a piece of your red cloth and then place this person in the middle and then fold it away from you again. 1, 2, and 3. And then you take a string like this, preferably a black one. I ran out of black one, that's why I'm showing a gray one. And then you tie this around your red cloth 3 times. And while I tie this up, I'm going to let you guys in on a little bit of my family's backstory. So my father, he passed away when I was 18 years old. And a Buddhist monk actually predicted his passing when I was about 4 years old or 5 years old. If you guys want a story on that, let me know. But basically, my dad passed away early, and I realized that my mom was just depressed ever since she divorced my dad. And I was also diagnosed with depression when I was 16. So I've always wondered what happened to my family. Because the thing about my family is, so before I was born, when my mom and dad first got married, my dad's business was booming, and my mom had a really bright future in front of her, and both my mom and dad were planning on coming abroad to America together. And then out of nowhere, things just started to fall apart after my mom came to America when I was about 4 years old. And I'm not saying this to garner pity or anything, but I just want to tell you guys that the curse that was placed upon my family by a Chinese spiritualist was very, very real. And as you guys can tell, it's an extremely effective spell because at some point after I was 4 years old, literally almost every single aspect of my family life just went downhill like this. And I always kind of wondered what happened to my family in the back of my head, but I wasn't sure until I just randomly decided to tell this story to another one of my psychic friend, and she immediately felt like something was wrong there. So then she did like a intensive meditative tarot reading for me, and she told me she's 100% serious and sure about this, that my family was cursed. And the content of the curse was to basically make sure that no one in my family will ever be happy again. And you know what? Unfortunately, that spell worked too well. And okay, side note, this is what your cloth should look like after you tie it up for about 3 times. And one more thing, as you guys are writing down the spell and tying these up, you want to keep on chanting that whatever it is that you wrote down on the papers, you just want to keep on chanting it to make sure that this is filled with the energy of returning the negative curse back to the sender. And the next thing you want to do, it depends on your living situation and who is around you, but you want to take this to somewhere that is kind of far from where you currently live, and then you burn this cloth with a lighter or your candle flame. You want to burn this somewhere as far from where you currently live as you can, because this is a very cursed energy that is embedded in here. Burn it for as long as you can, and then you just dump the ashes in a nearby trash can. So personally, for my family curse, I have to do this spell for about 7 times periodically on either full moon or new moon, mostly full moon, but you want to check with your own guides to see how many times you need to do it. And this is just a side note of something that I noticed, but on my way back from burning these little pouches, I would always almost get into some kind of car accident. So after you burn any of these pouches, you want to make sure that you cleanse as soon as you can and make sure you stay extra protected and also drive very safely. And also on my very last trip to burn the final pouch, the trash can that I dumped this into almost lit up and burned down the whole street. But if you guys want the story on that, let me know, okay? And thank you guys for watching the video. Stay protected and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.